So for a while now, we've been doing a video series on leadership traits and principles. We've already done the traits. These are characteristics that you as a leader, guild leader, raid leader, group leader, whatever it might be, or a potential leader should be striving to develop, maintain, and exude to show off to everybody. These are things like knowledge, loyalty, integrity, determination, endurance, things that you want to see from your leaders. We've already done all those. Now we're talking about principles. These are very simple ideas that you should keep in the back of your mind every single time you are giving an order, every time you are leading a raid, every time you're leading your guild, whatever the case might be. These are things that you want to be checking, that you want to be thinking, did I do this? I need to make sure I do that, etc. And we've gone through quite a lot of them. And today I want to go through a very simple idea. A very simple principle. And when I say it here in a second, you guys are going to go, well, obviously, no shit. Like, that's pretty obvious, right? But it's not. And the idea here and the principle that I want to share and talk to you guys about is the principle of training your raiders as a team. And when I say this, I know, like I said, some of you guys are rolling your eyes and you're going, well, that's pretty obvious, right? Like, okay, the video's done, cool, whatever. But it's not that simple. I promise it's not that simple, because I think a lot of leaders, especially when you're talking about a guild leader or a raid leader, don't understand or don't think or fathom that when you don't train your raiders as a team, when you don't foster a team-like atmosphere, a team-like environment, that it sows the seeds of just discontent and just not caring, and it splits people up, because it's not, hey, that's my guild member, that's my raid member, that's my friend that just got that piece of loot. And we've talked about this before, where if somebody gets a piece of loot, even if it's not you, the whole raid benefits, right? But when you don't have that idea and that fostering of teamwork, it's no longer the raid as a whole. My entire team has gotten stronger, even though I didn't get that really cool trinket or that really cool, relic or whatever the case might be. Even though I personally did not get it, my team got an upgrade, and a significant enough upgrade that next week, or the next boss or the next raid day, things are going to go way smoother because of this. And it splits people up, where people stop caring and people go, well, I didn't get that trinket and I really wanted it, and this jerk got it and he's nothing. Screw it, I'll find another guild. Or I won't show up for the raid night because I'll just pug it with somebody else, or whatever the case might be, because you don't see yourself as part of the team, because you don't see that a team is there. So, as leaders, what can we do to foster this sense of teamwork within our guild, within our raid, within our group, whatever the case might be? First and foremost, insist in everything that you do from start to finish that you do it as a team. That means summoning players. That means helping out with guild activities, guild events. It's not just that one person does everything, whether it be one person does all the interrupts. No, change it around. If you do a couple of, let's say, I'm trying to think who needs to be interrupted off the top of my head in Taurus. But let's say there's a boss that needs to be interrupted, hypothetically speaking. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Why does it have to be the same people every single time? Swap people out. Now you're part of the team. Now you are relied upon, which, yes, brings a little bit of extra stress to that individual player who's now thrown in the rotation, but it does two things. One, it gives the player who's been doing it, maybe the guy that did it last week, gives him a break. He has to think a little bit less about interrupting, and he can focus a little bit more on his rotation. Cool, whatever. But the more important thing is when the guy that's now in that rotation for interrupts dispels, whatever the case might be, he's now part of the group. And when he succeeds and you go, hey guys, great job on just, dispelling everything or interrupting everything or getting this or switching to that or whatever the case might be. If you have a group, portal group for Portal Keeper, Hasbel, whatever, that's a great example. Or people that are CCing the imps and the ads for that encounter. Great example where you can throw somebody in the portal group and you can go, okay, you're new to the portal group and you succeeded, presumably so. Great job, everybody. Cool. Everybody's happy. Now we know that, Steve, the new guy, is as capable, or Steve, the guy that has never gone up with the portal group, can now do it. we trust Steve. Steve's cool. Steve did his job. Great. Woohoo. Now, if there are problems and Steve fucks up, which very well may happen, as a team, we don't single Steve out, right? We don't single the guy out that messed up. Now, of course, we've talked about, if somebody is messing up continuously, et cetera, how to handle those situations. But we're not going to single one person out and go, oh, well, this guy clearly can't do it. Now, if extenuating circumstances, if there's, a history of them not being able to do it, if you do 2 or 3, 4 attempts and this guy's just not getting it, okay, then take action. But cut him some slack the first time, let him get a feel for what's going on, and then take action. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about a guy who, should know what's going on, who's done it before and just isn't getting it done. We're talking about, a guy who's new to this responsibility, new to this part of the fight, whatever. That we encourage, that we tell those that are in the raid, hey, help them out. Is there a way that we can make this easier? Can we call out interrupts? Is there something that we can do to fix this so that I can rely on you as a raider? You can rely on me because we're communicating. And that's one thing that I encourage all of my raiders to do. Now, we're not talking about frivolous, bullshit that doesn't matter for a raid. If the boss is engaged, if we are fighting and, whatever it might be, if the encounter is going on, I don't need to hear about what you're doing, what's on TV and what you've been watching. If it's a farm night, if everything's on farm, cool, I don't care. But we're talking about progression here. I want the chat channels clear so that we can get communication flowing about what is and isn't going on. And that right there fosters teamwork. That fosters a team-like atmosphere where you can go, hey, I'm having trouble with this. Can somebody help me out? I can't get to this. I can't do that. Can somebody cover me? And that fosters teamwork because that dude's got my back and I got his back. Now, the last thing here, and we've talked about this before when we talked about responsibilities, is when you are part of a team, you as the leader need to make sure, and you, the raider, the team member, need to make sure that you understand your responsibility within the team. That you understand, you're going up for the portal group, that you're going to stay down and CC ads when everybody else goes up for the portal group, that you're going to do this, that you're going to do that. Here is your job as part of the team. That you are going to be the one that is throwing down the pylons to put the shield up for Fusillade, for High Command, as an example. And now that I think about it, High Command's a good one for interrupting the Pyromancers. I'm an idiot. Anywho, so what I'm saying here is foster a team-like atmosphere by encouraging communication, by not letting the same people do the same thing, and instead show your raiders, show your guild members, show your players that others within the raid group are as capable to do extra jobs. And make sure, both from a raider standpoint and a leadership standpoint, that everyone understands what their job is within the raid. That you are doing X job at Y time for this encounter. And with that, you are going to foster a team-like atmosphere. People are going to care about one another. They're going to look out for the welfare of each other. And you'll see where they'll go, this was a really good upgrade for me, but it's a way better upgrade for you. Dude, take it. I'll get it next week, whatever. Next time it drops, I'll take it. Where people start to care more about the raid group as opposed to their personal benefit. And I've seen this where, we've maybe been down a healer. And so somebody logs on to an alt who maybe isn't as geared, and we're able to kill a boss and loot drops that is a clear upgrade for one of our main raiders. But the guy that's going to be healing for the rest of the night, it's an upgrade for him too. And it means that we're going to be able to push through this encounter and a couple more encounters and get more loot in the end. And I've seen my raiders where they'll go, that's a good upgrade. But dude, you take it. Whatever. You take it. You need it. I'll get the next one. I've seen it, guys. Now, with all that being said, hopefully you like what I'm saying here. If you do, you guys know what to do. And until next time, I'll see you.